I still don't know how I'm supposed to act normal right now, because 2 hours ago, I was your girlfriend. Just your girlfriend. And now I'm sitting here on a Saturday night across from you, with my heart still racing like it hasn't figured out the moment is over, and this ring on my finger catching every little bit of light like it knows I can't stop looking at it. I keep telling myself to calm down. I keep telling myself, okay, breathe, relax, stop staring at your hand every 5 seconds. And then I look at it again, and then I look at you, and then I remember what happened, and then I'm right back to feeling like I might cry all over again. I'm engaged to you. You asked me to marry you, and I said yes. I said yes so fast, too. So fast that I'm pretty sure you hadn't even finished the question before I started nodding like my life depended on it. Honestly, I don't even know if what came out of my mouth the first time was a full sentence. It might have just been, yes, yes, oh my God, yes. And somehow that still counts. I mean, it should count. You saw me. You saw the tears. You saw my hands shaking. You saw me looking at you like I couldn't believe you were real. That should absolutely count. Do you know what's ruining me the most right now? It's not even just the ring, even though, wow, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's exactly the kind of ring I would have loved, even if I'd never told you what I liked, which is honestly offensive, because how dare you know me that well? No, the part that's really ruining me is your face. Your face when you asked me. The way you looked so sure and so nervous at the exact same time. I didn't even know a person could look that brave and that terrified all at once. But apparently you found a way. You were trying so hard to hold it together, trying to sound steady, trying to keep your voice from shaking, trying to act like this was all going exactly according to plan. But baby, I know you. I know every version of your smile. I know your fake casual smile. I know your I'm pretending I'm not stressed smile. I know your please don't notice that I am internally falling apart right now smile. And that was the smile, that exact one. The second I saw it, I knew something was happening. Not what, not yet, but something. Because the whole energy changed. You got quieter, softer, more careful. And I remember thinking, why is he looking at me like that? Why is he staring at me like he's trying to memorize me? Why does this suddenly feel like the air just got heavier? And then you reached into your pocket, and I swear to you, my whole body stopped working. Everything in me just paused. My thoughts, my breath, my heartbeat, time itself. The whole world blurred around the edges, and there was only you, only your eyes, only your hands, only that tiny pause right before you got down on one knee. You know what's funny? People always talk about proposals like they happen in one clean, perfect emotional sweep, like you just feel joy and that's it. But that's not what it felt like. It felt like 100 emotions all crashing into me at once. Shock, love, terror, happiness, relief, disbelief. This huge, overwhelming wave of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is happening. This is real. This is him. This is us. And somewhere underneath all of that was this deep, quiet feeling that almost made everything else go still. This feeling of home. That's what you felt like, even then, especially then. Not pressure, not fear, not uncertainty. Home. Like my whole heart recognized yours before my mind caught up. And then you started speaking. Do you remember what you said? Of course you do. You probably rehearsed it 1,000 times. You probably had every word lined up in your head, every sentence polished, every pause planned. And I'm sorry, truly, I am. But I need you to know that I barely heard the middle of it because I was already crying. I heard the beginning. I heard enough. I heard you say my name like it meant everything. I heard your voice catch. I heard that softness you get when you're trying to say something honest without hiding behind a joke. And then after that, I was gone, emotionally destroyed, completely useless. I was standing there trying to listen, trying to breathe, trying not to fall apart, and all I could think was, he's asking me. He's really asking me. He chose this moment. He chose me. He wants forever with me. And I know that sounds dramatic, but what was I supposed to do? Be chill? Be mysterious? Be one of those girls in movies who just puts a hand over her mouth and lets one elegant tear fall? Absolutely not. No, I was a disaster. An actual disaster. Crying, laughing, shaking, trying to nod and breathe and function like a normal human being while the love of my life was on one knee asking me to marry him. And you know what I remember most clearly? The way you looked at me while you waited for my answer. That look. God, that look is going to stay with me forever. Because you were hopeful, but careful. Like you loved me enough to be vulnerable. Like you were opening your whole heart and placing it in my hands. That's the part that hit me the hardest. That this wasn't just a big, romantic gesture. It was trust. It was you saying, this is how much you matter to me. This is how sure I am. This is how deeply I want a life with you. So yes, I said yes. Of course I said yes. I would say yes to you again and again and again, 1,000 times, in 1,000 lives, in every version of this world where I get to find you. Come here a little closer. I just want to look at you. There you are. Still smiling like that. Still looking at me like you can't believe this actually happened. Baby, I need you to understand something. I think a part of me knew this was always going to be you. Not because I had some perfect fantasy in my head. Not because I thought relationships were supposed to be effortless or cinematic all the time. But because of the way you love me. Quietly, consistently, patiently, in all the little ways that don't make it into grand stories but somehow matter even more. You love me in the details, in remembering the things I say when I think you're half listening, in noticing when my mood changes before I say a word, in handing me water when I'm overwhelmed, in making me laugh when I'm trying very hard to stay grumpy, in letting me be messy without making me feel like I'm too much, in staying. That's the big one, isn't it? You stay. When things are easy, yes, but also when they're awkward, when they're complicated, when I'm overthinking, when I'm quiet, when I'm emotional, when I don't know how to explain what I need. You stay, and you try, and you listen, and you never make love feel like something I have to earn. That's why I said yes. Not because tonight was perfect, even though it was beautiful. Not because of the ring, even though I love it. Not because of the surprise or the nerves or the fact that my mascara is probably somewhere near my chin by now. I said yes because of every day before tonight, because of all the normal, ordinary moments that built this. The grocery store runs, the late night talks, the tiny arguments that turned into understanding, The mornings where we were both half asleep and somehow still made each other smile. The nights we stayed up too late, talking about everything and nothing. The way you became part of my life so naturally that now I can't even remember what it felt like before you were woven into it. Actually, no, that's not true. I do remember what life felt like before you. It felt quieter. Not bad, just less warm, less bright, less known. You changed that. You came into my world and somehow made it softer and steadier at the same time. And tonight, when you asked me to marry you, it wasn't like a new story started from nowhere. It felt like the next true thing, the next honest thing, the next page we were always going to turn together. To us, to tonight, to the fact that I get to call you my fiancé now. My fiancé. I'm sorry, I know I've said it already, but I'm going to keep saying it because it feels ridiculous and perfect and unreal. Fiancé. That's you. You're my fiancé. And somehow that word changes everything and nothing at the same time. You're still you. Still the same man I tease. Still the same man who makes me laugh when I'm trying to be serious. Still the same man who gives me that look when I steal food off his plate like I haven't done it 100 times before. Still the same man whose hugs make my whole body unclench. Still you. But now there's this new tenderness around us. This new glow. This quiet little shift where suddenly every future thought feels different. Not abstract. Not maybe one day. Not sometime later. Now. Now it's ours. Now when I picture next year, or 5 years from now, or 10, it doesn't feel like guessing. It feels like building, like we're holding blueprints made of trust and stupid inside jokes and affection and effort and choosing each other over and over. Can I tell you something a little embarrassing? Right after you put the ring on my finger, while everybody else was reacting and smiling and the whole world felt loud for a second, I had this tiny private thought, this tiny, flashing, fragile thought. I thought, oh,